Sharp and Tasty Kitchen, just doing a little bit of a steak video. It's summertime, time to be grilling, and steak is pretty much the #1 thing to grill. There's other things, but everybody loves steak. And you might be wondering what you should put on your steak to have just a delicious, fantastic steak. There's all sorts of steak seasonings and rubs. You can buy pre-packaged steak seasonings and rubs, or you can make your own. I prefer to make my own, just to screw around. You can play with the flavors. I mean, you got all summer, you might as well have some fun with it, right? And you can develop your own miracle steak, best steak in the world. It's not, mine's better. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm going to start with the basics. A very, very basic steak rub. It's probably just going to be pepper and salt. And you just put that on your steak, both sides, rub it in. You don't have to rub it in, you can just sprinkle it on. I prefer to rub it in, gets the flavors in. Flip it over, same on the other side, and then you'd use the steak, mop up any excess seasoning that lands around your cutting board or plate or whatever you're seasoning on. And after you do that, leave it around 5 minutes. All these seasonings, before you grill, you want to leave it for at least 5 minutes. Let it just rest up, soak in all the seasoning, and then throw it on your grill. Adds the flavor, just trust me on that one. So, that's just salt and pepper. I suggest, actually I demand, you really need to do this, use salt and pepper with any of these seasonings. Any of these, you're going to want to add salt and pepper, unless you're using like garlic salt, the onion salt. I'll get into those in a second. But unless you're using that, then you'd substitute those for the salt, obviously. But anything else, if you're not already using a salt, or something that has pepper in it, use salt and pepper, you got it. So those are out of the way. Next thing up, I'm going to talk about various other kinds of onions. That's what I'm going to do next. I suggest putting onions all over your steaks. I love grilled red onions, I love grilled white onions. Saute up some onions, caramelize onions, just delicious with a nice grilled steak. And also what you can do, add some flavor to your steaks, use onion salt and substitute for the other salt. By the way, look at my salt video, because you'll see that what I have here, this is a rice container, but I hold my salt in it. This is kosher salt, which is very much different than table salt. Check out my salt video, I forget what I said, the scoop on salt. Check that out. Google it, whatever, just look up Sharp and Tasty, the scoop on salt. You'll learn why steaks, you really need a kosher salt for that. But this onion salt is different, it adds a flavor. I suggest this, it's great. This is a McCormick brand, there's all sorts of kinds. The brand really doesn't matter, it's all onion salt. So that's out of the way, that's your onion stuff. Then we got two things right here. This is garlic salt and garlic powder. Very different things. The garlic powder is just kind of ground up garlic. Let's see what the ingredients here are. Ingredients, garlic, corn seed and soybean oil, and parsley. So this has parsley in it. It'll add a little bit of flavor, not much. I think it'll be fine. This actually says with parsley on the front. I'm down. But you can get just straight garlic powder without the parsley. And it's just kind of ground up dry garlic. And they powder it, and you can rub it on your steaks. Great. I suggest, if you're going to use garlic overall, go get just mince up some garlic. Mince up some garlic, use that, or garlic salt, and substitute that for your salt. Garlic powder is great, but, honestly, I don't know which I'd use. I'd have to experiment, see which I like most. But another thing that you can do with garlic that I highly suggest is with regards to mincing garlic. What I would do, depending on how much steaks you have, get a good amount of butter and melt it. Throw it in the microwave, maybe a minute, or throw it over your burner, melt it down. Once the foam is receded, pour it out into a little bowl, and mince up some garlic super fine, and leave it in that bowl for like half an hour before you grill your steaks. What that'll do is, it's called a compound butter, and you're just adding flavors to the butter. What I would do then, before you grill your steaks, get your rub on, whatever else you're putting on, and then baste it onto your steaks, and then baste it throughout the grilling process. Really delicious, highly suggest it. I'll use it in another video when I do a pork loin on the grill. But that's pretty much your garlics, what I suggest there. My favorite steak seasoning of all time, other than salt and pepper, is sage. This is rubbed Dalmatian sage. I have some sage growing up in my garden as we speak right now, which is just gold sage. But it's all great. You can use fresh sage leaves or dried sage like this, rub it in, or if you have fresh sage, you can cut a sprig off, bind it around your steak with some cooking twine. And when people say cooking twine, there's all sorts of things you can use. I just use the cheapo jute twine is what it's called. I get it at Safeway usually, or Osh or somewhere like that. And you could also use like designated kitchen twine or just cotton twine. All those will work. They also have these funky little rubber strap things that you can use on, but I don't suggest those on the grill. So that's sage. Really great flavor to add. I just love it. It pairs perfectly with steak. It also pairs perfectly with eggs. If you want to do grilled steak and eggs, go for it. Sage is your friend. Next thing I do is kind of some spicy stuff. Some people love spicy food, and that's what I got here. First thing is just paprika. It's kind of, actually in Hungary, they leave this on their table and use it just like salt and pepper. Fun fact. But it's kind of a sweet, kind of spicy, a little bit of heat. It's a strange flavor. It's paprika flavored. I don't really know how to describe the flavor, but it's good with steak. It's alright. Not my favorite with steaks. I'd rather just throw the hot sauce after the grilling. But if you want a really hot steak, you could add this. Pre or post grilling, I would add hot sauce. I love hot things. So I got 2 examples here. I don't suggest using these on your steaks unless you're really into hot sauce. First thing I have is pure capsaicin. Now I would add, this is a cooking ingredient. It even says so on the bottle. But this is more before you put your steaks on the grill. You put like a couple drops of this on, because capsaicin is the chemical that makes things hot. I'll go over that in another video, but this is pure capsaicin. So I just put it on before. It's not going to add any flavor. It's just going to make your steak hot. It'd be good on a grilled steak. I've never tried putting hot sauce on before a grilled steak, but I can only imagine it'd be great. Just leave your steak hot before you even have to put hot sauce on it. This right here is called Red Ghost hot sauce. This is super hot sauce. Burn your mouth out. Great on steak, great on pretty much anything. You kind of lose a lot of flavor when you get up in these super hot sauces, just because they're so hot that you don't taste anything. But you can put any kind of hot sauce, Tabasco, whatever your favorite is. Make your own. I have a habanero hot sauce video. Check that out. Funny enough, that's a great hot sauce, that habanero hot sauce. Pretty hot. You can change your heat levels on that. Yeah, so those are my favorite steak seasonings. You got your hot stuff right here. You got your onion, various kind of onions. Sage, my favorite, delicious. Try it out. Various garlic things. Again, try that garlic compound butter. And then your basic salt and pepper. Thanks for watching, guys. Have more videos soon.